Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing the 9th recipe from the Gingerbread Cookie Murder. They are magic chocolate caramel cookie bars. For a cookie bar, this is a lot of ingredients. It fills the entire top of my stove. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350. You're going to want 3/4 cup softened salted butter, that's a stick and a half, 2 cups brown sugar, 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of sour cream, 1/2 cup of whipping cream or half and half, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup unsweetened cocoa powder, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of semi-sweet regular chocolate chips, 2 cups of mini marshmallows, 1 cup chopped salted nuts, 14-ounce jar caramel ice cream topping, a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. There is no second set. You are making these in a 9x13 pan lined with foil, sprayed with nonstick spray. I don't really feel like there's any notes into this other than be careful when you add the cocoa powder, add the flour slowly. It does say to store these bars in the fridge or they'll be too gooey to eat. You're going to get approximately 48 squares depending on how generous you are when you cut them. It does have a note of have an extra pot of coffee ready to go when you serve these cookie bars. They're very rich and folks will need strong coffee to cut the sweetness. Mother wants me to frost these bars with chocolate frosting. She's even more of a chocoholic than I am. We will not be doing that. But I am hoping these come out like a Twix bar. This cookie bar, chocolate, caramel, I think Twix. But we will see. Let's get started. These are all the ingredients we're going to use today for these cookie bars. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is mix the butter, the brown sugar, the eggs, and the oil. We're just going to get all of this in the mixer and we're going to blend it up until it's nice and fluffy. All right, to this, we're adding the sour cream and the whipping cream. Next is the vanilla, the baking soda, and the salt. Now we have our cocoa powder. Always such a messy ingredient. We have the flour, a little bit at a time. It recommends about 1/2 cup. I'm just going to eyeball it. Next thing we want is our chocolate chips. This actually reminds me a lot of the cookies we made the other day. And that's a mess. Now mix in the chocolate chips. Take our foil and sprayed pan. We're just going to try to drop it in and spread it out. It does say to pat it down with your palms of your impeccably clean hands. I just think this is going to be a sticky mess, but we will do what we can. I'm going to have to touch it, and I don't want to. Okay, once we have it somewhat flattened out, it's going to look a little bit like, well, something. Okay. Next thing, it says to sprinkle 2 cups of marshmallows. A cup of nuts, and then something I have never heard of before. They want us to take the caramel topping and mix it with a 1/2 cup of flour. Very strange. I've never heard of this kind of thing before. I'm not sure if it's to thicken it or if it's supposed, I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to do. Trying to make sure I don't find any more pockets of that flour. All right. Now drizzle the caramel top as evenly as possible. We've got it all put together. It's going to go in the oven for 25 minutes, and then it will go in the fridge for 2 hours. We'll see you back here when it's done. Okay. So I cooked it for the 25 minutes. I put it in the fridge for probably 3.5 hours. Getting the foil off the sides was bad enough. How it's going to come off the bottom, I have no idea. Whoever named this a cookie bar should have just labeled it as some kind of cake, because there is no cookie about this. And with the melted marshmallows and the caramel, there was no real way to tell if the cake was done, especially with the foil, you couldn't see the bottom. So this is a disaster from start. Well, maybe not from start, but from bake to finish is kind of a disaster, because the weight of it's pushing out this cake on the bottom. It's not even standing up on its own. And I have no idea, with how hard I struggled to get the foil off the sides, how it's coming off the bottom. It's not cooked at all. It is so completely raw in the center. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this, because that is pure raw. I could try putting it back in the oven, just like picking it up. But I don't want to put it back in with the foil, especially the way the foil's messed up. And if I try to pick it back up and put it back in the pan, try to bake it some more, it's all going to fall to pieces. I really don't know what the answer is. But at the moment, this is a fail. Honestly, from the name alone, it's a fail, because there's nothing cookie about this. Even if it was baked, that is still way too thick to be considered a cookie anything. These are cake bites, essentially, if they had baked properly. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the oven back on, stick this on a baking tray, because that's the only thing I can think of. Because as it stands, it's worthless. I will update you later on how this turned out. I don't know how else to describe this, but a complete and utter failure. Just all around failure. It didn't cook, so I put it back in the oven, but I'd already taken it out of the tray. So I put it on a baking sheet, which overflowed into my oven. And it's still not cooked, mind you, before it started burning in the bottom of my oven. It's the caramel is underneath, like there's no. It would be easier to make cake pops out of this than it would be to get bars out of this. And that's not taking into account the fact that it's not cooked. I don't even know how to salvage this, because the metal and the foil has to be gotten out. You have to get I don't even know where to start. This is such an epic fail. I'm lost for words. And you can't like put something on it. Actually, you might be. I wonder if I can do that, actually. And it's sticky. The only thing in my mind that comes back as worse than this is that pineapple whatever flan mess we did in one of the books. I think that is the only thing that can be even construed as close as an epic of a failure as this was, which is disappointing when you really think of the amount of ingredients that went into it and everything else. And in all honesty, I'm really glad I didn't use the cashews, because that would make me even more mad, because those are expensive. But And just, like I said, getting this off is, you're losing half the caramel sauce for sure. If you can even get it off. And y'all, if y'all remember from the first part of this video, I didn't want to touch this when we were supposed to flatten it out. I darn sure don't want to touch it now. Yeah, it's so raw. It's a disappointment. It's a complete and utter failure. It doesn't taste very like anything astounding. It's basic. This is definitely going in the fail folder. If I were to ever make anything out of the fail file, when I finally finish the series, going back and fixing the failures, I think the easiest way this could have gone down is one, it has nothing to do with a cookie bar. Even if this recipe had worked and it had baked through in the 25 minutes that it had given you, because it did, it said 25 minutes, it didn't say what you were looking for, the foil on the bottom, you can't see if the bottom's baked or anything. This is definitely one of those wing and a prayer recipes, the way it's written. And we wing and we prayed and it did not turn out. But I would bake it like a cake. I would just mix the bottom, put it in, bake it off. Once it comes out clean, then you can add the marshmallows and the nuts and the caramel topping. Put it under like the broiler or something and broil the marshmallows toasty. And then take it out, chill it, slice it. The way it's written and the way it came out, it never had a chance, I don't think. If anyone has made this before and it turned out, let us know what you did. My husband made an interesting point that not every recipe is made for every elevation. So maybe that has something to do with it, because Fluke is a Minnesota person. So maybe it didn't translate. But I don't know. This one just didn't work. It's been a while since we've had a fail folder, but now I have one epic mess to clean. So I hope it was worth it. Next week, we are making, drum roll please, goody fudge. I have a good track record with fudge, and this book has a good track record with fudge. Well, the series has a good track record with fudge. So hopefully we're back on good ground next week. If you are interested, join us next week. I hope you all have a good one. Bye.